Respected Chairman, CAI Chapter Tamil Nadu, Mr. Narayan Sedramanji, our beloved Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of State for Industries and Commerce, Shri Nachiappanji, respected Shri Bharat Ravalji, Aditya Birla GM, respected Shri Narendra, Chairman Indian Overseas Bank, respected Salt Commissioner M.A. Ansari ji, respected Joint Secretary Madam Shubhra Singh ji, respected Deputy Salt Commissioner Kashyap ji, respected dignitaries and all stakeholders from all the states of salt producing states in India, respected media friends, I deem it as a pleasure and privilege to address this conclave. I take this as an opportunity to highlight certain long-pending issues and problems facing people who depend on salt production in this part of our country. Basically, it is not my intention to pull somebody or to criticize somebody. It is not my intention. But anyway, in a democracy, healthy democracy, there should be criticism, positive criticism, and also some introspection. So it is not my, I request, whenever I mention about the Salt Commissioners Organization, respected Ansari ji should not mistake me. With due respect to you, I am going to make certain remarks. So, conclave of this type should be held periodically so that our problems are addressed and grievances redressed. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the organizers of this conclave, the CII, Salt Commissionerate, Government of India, and the Indian Salt Manufacturers Association, and the Bhavanagar Marine Chemicals Research Institute, and the Indian Salt Manufacturers Association for though belated but laudable initiative. I would also like to place my special thanks to Honorable Minister of State for Commerce and Industry, Shri Nachiappanji, for his keen interest and special initiatives to hold this national conclave in South, particularly in Chennai. The invitation that was sent to me reads like a vision statement. Problems affecting the salt industry may vary from region to region due to different factors. I am constrained to state that the mentality of the state, I mean the government, and its various arms remain the same as far as the salt industry is concerned since the East India Company days, who were only interested in what they could extract from the stakeholders without bothering much about the growth of the industry. In Vedaranyam, that is my place, down south in Nagapattinam district. That is supposed to be the second largest salt producing center in Tamil Nadu. If you consider Tamil Nadu as the second largest salt producing state in India, Vedaranyam is the second largest salt producing place in Tamil Nadu. In Vedaranyam, as our representations to the salt department to lay the roads and develop basic infrastructure fell on deaf ears, we the stakeholders spent our money to lay temporary arterial roads for 40 kilometers length inside Vedaranyam salt pan area for movement of salt loads. Secondly, Vedaranyam salt producers were transporting 7,000 wagon loads of salt by rail when we had Agasthyamballi Thiruvarur line before its closure for gauge conversion. It is almost more than a decade that the rail line was closed for gauge conversion works, and the works were still not undertaken, and in fact budget allocation from the Railway Ministry for this conversion are being diverted to other works like new line formation. I request that the rail line should be restored as early as possible, facilitating early and cheaper means of salt transport. Logistics remain a nightmare for us in Vedaranyam area. We feel like orphans as both central and state government show little interest in rushing to our help and in solving outstanding issues and perennial problems. Thirdly, I request the Salt Department to issue a NOC to the state government to lay roads in our factory area utilizing MPs and MLAs local area development scheme funds. Few years have passed since we applied for NOC in this regard. It is not issued by the SEO. Our many representations are still to be considered by the Salt Department due to their callous, indifferent attitude which dampen our enthusiasm. Many committees like Salt Advisory Committee, Salt Expert Committee, Salt Research Committee, Manubai Shah Committee were constituted in the past, in 1948, 1950, 1952, 1960, etc. There are many good recommendations were being made only to put in cold storage. They never see the light of the day. If only these were seriously implemented, salt industry would have grown to phenomenal heights. Today, this is what our Honorable Minister Nachiappan is expecting and initiating. After so many years. So in my experience, in my 25 years of political or 35 years of political experience, I haven't seen a minister like him, a pragmatic minister like him, like our CII chairman said. This is the first time the CII is being approached by the minister, and the minister himself is in the driving seat, and he is driving and taking us. So normally it doesn't happen. I haven't seen this in India. So I should appreciate this. Salt being in the central list. Unfortunately, it is in the central list still. Item number 58 of the 7th schedule of our constitution. State governments are excluded from coming out with good infrastructure providing activities, and they don't allocate any funds because it is not their subject, any state government. Maybe except Gujarat, something is happening there in Gujarat. So Tamil Nadu, this government never bothers about the salt industry. Their only botheration is about that 600 acres of Tamil Nadu Salt Corporation land, that's all. Not thousands and thousands of acres owned by the salt department or the private pata owners, they own the land. For any developmental activity or mechanization, whatever you want to see in this area, it doesn't happen because it is in the central list. Now through this conclave, let us all put our heads together and think, can it be sent to the, made to go into the concurrent list if the parliament by two-third majority it approves, it can be deleted from the central list, and so that all the state governments, at least in 7 states in India, we are producing starch, from West Bengal, Orissa, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, all these states. But they don't have a say because they say it is a central subject. Why should we bother? Why should we spend our money, lay roads and give potable water to the workers? So even we don't have, let me come to the next thing. At present, like rubbing salt to our wounds, the salt department seeks to enhance multifold the ground rent and the assignment fee, etc. The department is very insensitive to the whole industry. They want to destabilize and disrupt and demoralize our enthusiasm by seeking to disown us by going in for a tender system, wherein the very livelihood of the traditional salt producers remain a question mark. I am a 3rd generation man involved in this salt activity. So we entered upon the land through the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, which gave us the permission and the authority in 1930. So in 2014, now you say only hereafter we can only own the land in the open tender system. I'm coming to the later stage. So instead of helping us, the department's present attitude is compounding our problems. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry has issued an executive circular on October 13th that seeks to fix the minimum assignment fee ₹100 per metric ton and increase the ground rent ₹120 per acre per annum, along with the recovery of ground rent in lump sum in advance. As a matter of fact, after a gap of about 4 decades, in January 2004, the assignment fee and ground rent were increased, and now within 10 years, the assignment fee and ground rent have been increased multifold. That is 900% and 2,300% unilaterally, arbitrarily, and contrary to the letter and spirit of the Gandhi-Irwin Pact and the 1961 notification. These anti-people, anti-stakeholders, bureaucratic mentality will sound a death knell to the very existence of this industry. Moreover, this will undermine the very concept of welfare state concept, because these insensitive steps and arbitrary measures on the part of the department will increase the price of salt, which is an essential commodity. This revision is being challenged in many courts and stay orders obtained. Here I would like to ask, does the government want to be a permanent litigant? Are you not interested in solving our problems? Don't they want to usher in a golden era in the history of salt industry in our country? These are the simple questions I would like to pose to the establishment. And another diabolical move by the department that seeks to go in for open tender system to allot salt lands will dispossess the traditional salt farmers and put outsiders in possession of these lands. The pro-rich plan will endanger the federal structure and will be a cause to promote parochial tendencies, enmity, antagonism in the minds of the local people. So when we talk of this open tender system when we make an appeal to the Honorable Minister to withdraw this, so immediately they say, not the Minister himself, but from the department, they say, sir, we are being pulled by the Supreme Court of India for allotting coal block and iron ore, so we are not in a position to give to anybody of our choice. So it is the open tender system is the only way that brings more revenue to the government. So if we don't bring revenue to the government, so we are pulled by the Supreme Court. So in turn, the media also goes to the public. So my humble request is, let us not equate this salt industry with the iron ore or coal blocks. So long as the sea water is there, the sea is there, and the sun is there, and the solar light is there, we can produce salt in this land. But we will exhaust the coal, we will exhaust our iron ores. So I will finish in 2 minutes. But this conclave provides a ray of hope, a much needed relief for us to highlight our grievances, to interact with the officials and with the Honorable Minister so that our long pending problems may be solved. I request the Ministry for withdrawal of the above circular. I would also request for the constitution of the Central Salt Advisory Board with the wider participation of the different stakeholders. About Vedaranyam, few lines. In 1961, on February 15th, that is in 1961, the Supreme Court bench held that Vedaranyam temple was the owner of the 2,425.95 acres of land, and the salt department would be the perpetual leasee. But it took more than 40 years for the salt department to regularize the same for us, the traditional farmers, enabling us to obtain power connections, etc. Here I should thank the late departed Cabinet Minister, Shri Maranji. Beloved Maran, he only took the initiative for this regularization after 40 years of the Supreme Court judgment. And I should also place my thanks to Sri Ma Meenakshi Sundaram, our former MLA who is sitting with us, for his initiative. Nearly 2 generations we were not regularized. For this temple land of 2,425.95 acres, Salt Department would be paying only 4,200 rupees per annum as lease amount to Vedaranyam temple. Shri Ansariji, you are only paying 4,200 rupees only to the temple for this 2,425 acres, whereas you are collecting 5.5 lakhs of rupees from us. Is it ethically right? Is it just? I leave it to you. Last but one, the least of importance. I would like to highlight the importance of uplifting the downtrodden and salt workers. In an intergovernmental study about the socio-economic status of workers in the salt industry in India, which was undertaken in the year 2005, it was pointed out that the condition of the salt workers is abysmally poor with no proper housing and health care, and the drinking water is not at all potable. I would like to quote from the report, that is intergovernmental study report. I am quoting, irrespective of state and location, the salt workers are found as the poorest of the poor section of the rural workers in the country. The report further states, in Tamil Nadu, 98% of the salt workers are from backward caste. So we are talking, every day we are talking about social justice or human rights, everything. So we have to think of all those things here. The report further states, so let me go. Salt workers, being the backbone of the industry, deserve sympathetic treatment and immediate labor welfare measures, and as indicated in the report on a war footing. When we speak of the concerns of the salt industry, we also speak of the welfare of the workers. It would not be out of place to expect a kind of action taken report on the recommendation contained in the report. So I hope Ansariji will place a action taken report whenever he feels free. Workers dream of amelioration of their conditions with the help of the salt cess funds proved to be a pipe dream. In early 1980, Varadarajan Committee recommended the abolition of salt cess, as these funds are of little use to the industry, not to the salt laborers. This needs to be considered afresh. To sum up, I welcome this conclave and hope that since the Honorable Minister is present here, these deliberations would lead to a resolution of all our outstanding problems. I also hope that the presence of the concerned officials, state government and central government officials here, would also help us in a big way. With these remarks, I conclude my speech. I thank the organizers once again for this opportunity to present my viewpoints here. Jai Hind.